I want to thank everyone for having the competition, and I am grateful to be here. I'm reading an excerpt from part 2 of the novel. Um, David said, "I want to tell you more about my sister." Charles looked into his eyes. Sober, there and still, he said, "If you feel you need to." "I do, Charles." And so he began the story. He said, "She caught me with the boy who lived across the street. That's how it all started. Linda, always struggling to not be shaded by her brother's shadow, who followed him everywhere, then by their teens he was her idol, her main role model. She had a drinking problem. David knew and kept it secret for her from their parents. I think about it now and think they must have known. How couldn't they? Everything else they seem to know as if by magic. To this day I don't get it. Wait a few years. The easiest facts for anyone to deny are one's parents don't want to accept about their children. If you ask me, it's a shame. High school came. So did the boy across the street. He was my age. I was a boy then, so I think of him as a boy, playing doctor, really. There was a stethoscope involved. We had biology together. Spare me all the gory details, David. Obviously, I already said she caught us. Lynn wasn't spared them. Then the monster she turned into. It became my fault she drank. That's what she would say. But I had that over her head, her drinking, and she had this over mine. I was mortified by the thought of my parents knowing. I mean, Lynn's reaction alone, it made me feel so, well, alone. I know what you're talking about. Then her accident. It was ugly what she said to me. I tried to tell myself she didn't mean it, but she did. And then she died. Of course I blamed myself, and I had no one to talk to about it. I wouldn't even look at the boy across the street anymore, and I buried it so deep so I wouldn't have to remember. That didn't work, though, and the words to describe it struggled past his lips. Everything reminded me of it. Everything. I fought it and thought I had won, but I hadn't. I was just a shell. Not empty, full of regret the way a shell on the beach is full of the sound of that which created it. And when he finished, in tears, he looked at Charles. He didn't know what, but he needed something. The past is never fully relegated, David. It can't be, nor should it be. Why not? To himself, through his tears, he sounded like a child. Because life's too short. I dream about Lynn, Charles. David paused, collected himself. When I dream about her, I'm at the scene of the accident. In reality, I only saw pictures of the mangled car, but I'm there anyway watching it happen, screaming in silence, and she's there, all bloody, and I take her hand. It's warm and sticky and very weak, and I look at her. She looks at me, and she smiles, and she looks like a little girl again. Then her weak hand goes totally limp, and I know she's dead, but her eyes are still open, staring at me like she knows something that I don't. And there was David's confession, another triangle, Linda to David to Charles, instantly part of the good old days. Charles had to set his brandy glass down and enshroud David with his embrace, rocking him as they rocked on the wooden porch swing, the dog oblivious, absorbing his sobs. Thank you.